1 minute, I think. Okay, it's noon. Hi, friends. Thanks for being here. This might be new to you. All this stuff is new to me. I'm not a computer person, but I'm slowly learning how to get my technology on. So this class is only 45 minutes, so we're gonna get going. I'm gonna read you a little story in a minute, but you're gonna come down onto your back with your knees bent and your feet grounded. Find a place that your legs can feel like they're resting. You're not having to hold them up. Take one hand to below your navel and one hand above. Close your eyes or have a soft gaze at the ceiling. Take a nice long breath in through your nose. Hold your breath for a moment at the top. And then sigh that breath out. Continue with the breath. In and out through the nose. So I read you just this short little story from Yoga Gems. Mindful breathing. We spend most of our time caught up in memories of the past or looking ahead to the future, full of worries and plans. The breath has none of that, in quotes, other timeness. We truly observe the breath. We are automatically, or when we truly observe the breath, we are automatically placed in the present. We are pulled out of the morass of mental images and into a bare experience of the here and now. In this sense, breath is a living slice of reality, a mindful observation of such a miniature model of life itself leads to insights that are broadly applicable to the rest of our experience. So as we move through the practice today and we're moving our bodies and our breath, try to let go of the focusing on all the what ifs and focus on what is right here in the present moment. Go ahead and release your hands from your belly, bring your arms by your sides, take your feet as wide as your mat, and simply start to windshield wiper the legs side to side. Just noticing how the low back feels, noticing how the hips feel. And come on back to center. Walk your feet back under your knees there. Extend your right leg up. Hold the back of your thigh somewhere. And just flex and point your toes a few times, your feet. You can roll up the ankle. Changing directions. And then come to center, flex that foot, keep the foot nice and flexed, cross the ankle, and take a figure 4 stretch. So you don't have to hold the legs here. You can just use leverage against the leg and the ankle to press the legs in towards the chest, or interlace fingers at the back of the shin. Feel free to maybe rock a little side to side, massaging out the low back, the sacrum. And then release, unwind, send your left leg up, hold somewhere at the back of the thigh if you're able to. Start to flex and point. Just bringing some awareness to the ankle joint. Maybe rotate it around. Make sure you switch directions once or twice. And then come back to center, flex that foot. Release the thigh, figure 4 on this side. Thread the needle through the hole you've created in your legs here. Relax the head back down. Draw the legs in towards the chest, opening up the outer hip and glute. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Continue with that nice, slow, long breath. Come back to center and release. Taking half happy baby on the right, you're either going to capture the inner outer arch of your foot, your ankle, your calf, the back of your thigh, and draw the knee down and out wide towards the edge of your mat. Option to extend your left leg nice and long. Start to really open up through the hip flexors and then feel that deeper stretch into the hip joint. Keep the half happy baby pose, bend your left leg, and you're gonna reach with your left hand and grab either your shin, your ankle, or the top of your foot, and then bring the sole of the foot to the floor as you bring your heel in towards your butt, and then gently roll to the right. And you might feel a nice little stretch in your quadricep muscle on the left. If you need a little more, you can bring that left heel closer into your butt there. And then come on back to center, release. Taking half happy baby on the left, grabbing either the outer arch, inner ankle, calf, back of the thigh, wherever you can reach. Draw that knee down and out, and then option to extend the leg or keep it bent. Just taking a couple breaths here. Keep the left side as it is, bend your right leg, reach and hold on to shin, ankle, or top of foot as you bring the sole of the foot down, heel in towards your butt, and then gently roll off to the left. If you need more, then you're bringing that right heel closer in towards your buttocks to feel that quad stretch. Take one more breath in here. And come on back to center, release. Let's grab the backs of the legs, lift your head and shoulder blades, make yourself into a little ball. Roll lengthwise, start out really slow. Rolling lengthwise on your spine, giving yourself a nice little massage. And as you start to come up more on the sits bone, see if you can even pause for a second in a little boat pose. And then once you come all the way up, just cross your ankles. We're gonna take deer pose. So you're gonna take your legs in a 90-degree angle towards the front of your mat. So your right shin is forward and your left shin is kind of off the left long edge of your mat here. Come to the fingertips, extend and lengthen the spine. Take a nice breath in and then see what it feels like to walk the hands forward and start to hinge over that right leg. You might even be able to reach more forward and come down, chest over thigh. Keeping the spine nice and long, the breath nice and smooth. And just the focus on what is right here, right now. Walk the hands back up. We'll take a little twist to the right. So you have the option to stay really upright and just turn your chest towards the right, or hinge forward and take the left forearm, hold on to your knee with the left hand, and turn and hinge. Supporting yourself with your right hand here. Come on back through center. Just switch to the other side. So you're gonna face the back of your mat. Deer pose or a variation of this. Sit up nice and tall, come to the fingertips, engage the belly. Feel free to stay right here. This might be enough into your hips, or start to walk the hands forward. Keeping the spine long. Maybe coming down a little lower. And just checking in with those hips. If you haven't guessed, this class is going to be pretty hip focused. All right, let's walk back up and take our twist here to the left. Feel free to stay upright. Or take that right forearm to the left shin here, hold on to your knee and turn as you hinge. Supporting yourself with that left hand. Go ahead and come on back around. So keeping these legs as they are, swivel back to the front of your mat. We're just gonna move with some internal hip rotation here on the floor. Starting out, hands behind you, lift the knees, rotate to the back of the mat. Lift the knees and rotate. So here's one variation. Another variation is bringing the hands to heart, sitting up a little bit taller, starting to use your core a little bit more, and you might scooch off your mat, that's totally fine. We'll get ourselves back where we need to be when we're ready. Adding on to this would be lifting the pelvis, coming to the knees, engaging the glutes, and then sitting back down, shifting over front of your mat and pressing the pelvis forward. Feel free to do this with the hands on the ground to give you a little assistance. Good, just do a couple more. You're gonna get yourself back to the front of your mat. And then if you've scooched off your mat at all, just make your way to downward facing dog. Get there however you'd like. As always, I'm going to be doing showing and teaching a lot of modifications. I have a lot of my own injuries that I'm working with here. So yeah, do what you need to do. Listen to your own body. So from downward facing dog, just take a moment. Maybe pedal up the feet. Maybe sway the hips. Just do what feels good. Roll to the toes. Feel into that whole back line of your body. You're pushing the earth away from you with the heels of your hands. Fingers are spread wide, clawing the mat. Elongate your spine, let your head hang. Send your tailbone up and back. And then try to bring your pubic bone more forward and up towards your navel. Feel slight little engagement through the pelvic floor muscles. Look forward towards the hands. Take as many little steps as you can to bring the feet to the hands. Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Let your head hang. Just going to be here for a second. Belly to thighs. Feel your feet on the ground. And then keeping everything nice and heavy, press the feet into the earth, knees soft, and slowly roll up. Making your way all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders back and down a few times. Bring your hands to your heart. Make sure you're all the way at the top of your mat. We're going to be doing a lunging salutation to get us warmed up. Hands at heart center. Inhale, reach up, look up towards your hands. So you're creating a little back bend here. Lift the front ribs and then bend your knees, hinge and fold, Uttanasana, hands to heart center. Step your right leg back and bring your right knee to the ground. Pause here, heart reaches forward. Starting to feel a little more stretch in the front of the hip flexors. Kind of like you're doing a cow lunge. Plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Remember, kneeling plank works here as well, bringing the knees to the ground. Tailbone lengthens down towards the heels of the feet, or knees lifted, legs super active. Push the floor away. Inflate the space between your shoulder blades. Knit your rib cage together, draw the navel up and in. Hips about level with your shoulders. Everyone bring your knees down, keep your toes tucked under and send your hips to your heels. It's like broken toes pose meets child's pose. Forehead towards the mat. Keep reaching the fingertips forward. Lift your gaze, look towards the front of your mat, slide through onto your belly. Glue the legs together, tops of the feet to the mat, engage the glutes, fire up the kneecaps and quads, and then peel the chest, Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Staying with this for a few rounds of breath. Just turning on the whole back line of the body. You might even drag the heels of the hands back towards your hip bones. Take one more breath in and then lower. Tuck your toes, make your way to downward facing dog. However you want to get there. Look forward, step your right foot to the front of your mat and lower your back knee. Lift the heart. Lift your back knee and step forward and fold. So a little bit different here. You're going to reach your arms long over your head. Palms touch, Thumbs cross, biceps frame the ears. Bend your knees, press your feet down and rise up halfway. And then all the way. Creating that nice little gentle back bend as you look up, hands to heart. Inhale, prayer hands reach. Exhale, fold, hands to heart center. Left leg back, left knee down, heart lifts. Plank pose. Push the earth away, fire up the legs, breathe in. Knees to mat, hips to heels, bow back. Gaze forward, slide onto your belly. Cobra pose. Maybe you want to take a little bigger cobra, but keeping pubic bone on the mat. Come on down, relax. Tuck toes, downward facing dog. Look forward, step your left foot forward. Lower your back knee, heart lifts. Push off with the back foot and fold at the top of your mat. Prayer hands, reach overhead, rise all the way up. Hands to heart. We're gonna start adding on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Right leg back, right knee to the earth. Arms reach up, Untitled. Pause here. Keep pressing into your front foot, knee over ankle. Nice stretch through that right hip flexor. Bring hands to heart. Take a little twist to the right, to the left, and then right elbow maybe connects to that outer left thigh. Stacking elbows over wrists, turning chest towards the thumbs. Breathing nice and easy and smooth. Come back through center, reach those arms up. Take the hands down to the mat and step back into plank. Take a breath in. Knees down, hips back, bow. Breathe out. Slither forward, inhale, cobra. Maybe up dog this time. Pelvis lifts, thighs lift, knees lift. Gaze toward down the tip of your nose. Downward facing dog, pull the hips up and back. Step your right leg forward, lower your back knee, Anjaneyasana, reach the arms up. Pause here for a moment. Keep pressing into your front foot for support, knee over ankle. Bring the hands to heart center and turn the upper body to the right. You might connect elbow to thigh. Notice when you do that, if your knee kind of collapses in here, try to use the leverage of the knee against the elbow to keep the knee in alignment with those middle toes. And then stacking elbows over wrists. Breathing smoothly. Come on back to center, reach the arms up. Hands through the mat, lift the back knee, forward fold. Prayer hands rise, come all the way up. Dive right back down. Left leg steps back, left knee down, reach the arms up. Take your right hand to either your sacrum or to the back of your left thigh for a low exalted warrior. Reaching up and back, turning the heart slightly to the right. And then come back around, both arms reach up, breathe in. Hands frame that foot, step back to plank pose, breathe out. Take a breath in. Knees to the mat, hips to heels, breathe out. Slither forward, inhale. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left foot steps forward, right knee down, arms reach up. Left hand to your sacrum or to the thigh, right thigh there, as you take your low exalted warrior, reaching up and slightly turning to the left. Creating all the space on the right side of the body from the hip to the armpit. Come back to center, release those arms up, inhale, exhale. Lift the back knee, step forward and fold. Rise all the way up, prayer hands, biceps frame your ears, come up. And hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Changing it up, halfway lift, inhale. extending the spine, plank pose. So a couple options, bring the knees down, lower to your belly, take Cobra Pose, or rock forward, toe tips, lower halfway, chaturanga, up dog. Or Cobra here, downward facing dog. Let's lift that right leg for a split dog. See if you can kind of level out your hips by rotating that right hip bone, front of the hip bone down there. Super strong legs. You're kicking back through the right heel, but you're also plugging the femur bone into the socket. And then look forward between your hands. Hug your knee up into your chest as you shift your shoulders over your wrists. Pull the thigh up and into your belly. It's almost like you're making a cat shape back here, and then send the legs straight back. Step the foot through now between your hands. Come up to a high crescent lunge. So rise on up, feet on 2 lanes of traffic. Let's reach those arms up just for a moment. Knee over ankle in the front. Good, heel up high in the back. And then lower your arms straight down, send the palms back. Straighten your front leg. Find one point of focus out in front of you and try to peel those toes off the mat, your front toes. Woo, it's a little shaky, a little wobbly. Rebend the knee, high lunge. And then arms straight, legs straight, toes lift. Push into the heel of the foot. High lunge. Really important to keep your drishti, your eyes steady. One more time, straighten leg, lift heel, lift toes. Rebend. Let's open up for warrior 2. So you're facing the left side of your mat, left long edge of your mat. Good, adjust the feet so they're on 1 line of traffic, knee over ankle in the front. Breathe, gazing over your right fingertips. Just feeling the shape. Being here in this present moment. Your breath. Flip your palm, reverse this. Reach up and back. So we're opening up from the hip all the way up to the armpit as you're creating reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. You're gonna keep what you've created in your upper body, but you're gonna pivot the lower body to the back of the mat for extended side angle. So now your left toes facing the back of the mat. Feel free to bring your left forearm to your thigh. Rotate the rib cage open. Maybe gaze up underneath that right bicep. And then come on up, high pyramid. Palms touch overhead, hands to heart, toe heel your feet in a little bit closer. We're gonna come into a little catcher's squat here, bending the knees, lift the elbows off of your thighs. So we're doing that same kind of hip rotation, but now we're standing. So you're really working into your hips here, strengthening the hips, and then getting that internal rotation. Looks like this, chest lifts, pivot, so pick up the heel, dip the knee, down and up. And just take your time. The knee does not have to touch the ground. It can come down to a little hover. If it's too much, you could stay up a little higher and not go as low, or slow it down a little bit. Do about 4 more. Make sure that you're even on both sides. Okay, I think I'm even here. Come back to center. Take your feet out really wide. Turn your heels slightly out, toes in. Breathe in, reach the arms up. And then dive down. Prasarita Parattanasana. Let the head hang. Rock the body weight into the ball mounds of the feet. Feel free to take the hands somewhere else or keep them under the shoulders. Not gonna be here too long. Just create that traction for the neck and spine. Walk the hands out in front of you, halfway lift. Soft bend in your knees, quarter turn to the front of your mat. Lift your back leg, standing L. And then forward fold, both feet meet the ground. Rise all the way up, inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, reach up, look up, creating that nice gentle back bend, exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale, extend the spine, lengthen. And then take your vinyasa, whatever that means to you. It can be skipping all of it and going to down dog, which is where I'm just gonna go. Doing chaturanga, doing extra push-ups if you feel like you need some extra push-ups. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Once you're here, take a nice, long, slow, deep breath in. Open mouth, let it go. Lift your left leg, split dog. And again, let's try to level the hips out. So just notice if you're really opening up on that left side. Tilt that hip bone down towards the floor and then plug those femur bones into the sockets as you push the earth away through your hands, heart back towards your thighs. Bring that knee up into your chest and pause. Hugging that thigh up into your chest, pushing the earth away. Super strong core, and then send that leg back. Step it through between your hands. So low lunge now becomes a high lunge. Rise up. Reach those arms up. Feet on 2 lanes of traffic. Knee over ankle in the front. Arms come down, palms face back. Straighten your front leg. Find your drishti and lift your left toes. Rebend the knee, high lunge. So it's a little balance challenge. Arms down, straighten the leg, lift your toes. Woo! Pull the navel into the spine. One more time, high lunge, legs straight, arms down, toes lift. And then rebend the knee, high lunge. Open warrior 2, facing the right long edge of your mat. Just my clothes here. All right, gaze over those left fingertips. Find a nice deep bend that you're comfortable with in your front knee. Turn on the back leg, glute, quad, flip your palm, reverse, reach up and back. Try to keep what you've created in the lower body as you lift up through the left hip, all the way up to the armpit. Peaceful warrior, maybe gazing up towards your hand. You're gonna keep what you've created in the legs, turn to the back of your mat for extended side angle. So you just pivoted the feet around, rotate open that rib cage, that heart, maybe turn the gaze to look up under your arm. You can support yourself with that forearm on the thigh or straight arm on the inside of the leg, but legs are really active and strong. Let's rise up to our high pyramid. Hands to heart, toe heel your feet in a little closer. I'm gonna turn around just for this one, because it feels weird doing it backwards. So we're gonna either do the same thing, knee drop, or find Malasana squat. Take a moment here. So you can stay in Malasana squat, so lots of options. You can do the first one I just showed you, Malasana squat, and just hold. Maybe play around with some crow poses if you want, or hands at heart, knee drop to the floor. And then you can get funky with it. Put on some hip hop and go. Just be careful. You don't want to feel any sharp pains in your knees or hip joint. So you've got all those choices. Either keep moving, make sure you're even on both sides, do like 4 more of those knee drops. We'll meet back in Malasana, or you're meeting here in your catcher's squat. Take a breath. And just notice the energy that created in your body, just moving or wherever you are. Release the hands, start to lift the hips. Take the feet out wide. Turn the big toes slightly in, halfway lift, and then fold again. One more time here. Let the head hang. Option to grab the outer edges of the feet. If you want to take a bind, take your hands to your low back, interlace your fingers, draw the knuckles up and away. Pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. If you've got that bind, bring the hands back to the low back. And then hands to the ground, right out in front of you, halfway lift. Quarter turn to the front of your mat. Let me get on the right foot. And then standing L, lift that back leg. Right foot meets left, fold. Long arms, frame the ears, rise up all the way. Hands to heart center. All right, let's go through that one more time, a little bit quicker. We're gonna take some things away, add some things on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana, or your version, downward facing. Inhale, right leg. Bend the knee, flex the foot, scorpion, open. Try to draw the right shoulder back down in line with the left. Send your legs straight back. Step it through between your hands. This time, warrior one, rise up. Cactus your arms right away, hips and heart forward, front knee bent over ankle. Back leg strong and active. Glue the pinky edge of the foot down. Draw the navel in, tilt the rib cage down a little bit towards your hips. Take a breath in. And then hover, hinge forward about 45 degrees, hover. Rise back up. Elbows are back, shoulders are down. To really turn on the shoulder girdle, breathe in, hover, breathe out. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, come all the way, belly to the thighs, hands frame the foot, standing splits. Lift your back leg. Find one point of focus, just somewhere down there, your foot, maybe in front of your foot, maybe at your shin. And then see if you can kind of level your hips out, plugging that left femur bone into the socket. Belly stays connected to the thighs. This is going to become a low lunge, high lunge. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, lift the toes. Balance, challenge. Rebend the knee, high lunge. Warrior two, open. Reverse, breathe in. Extended side angle to the back of your mat, breathe out. High pyramid, breathe in. And then fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Quarter turn to the front of your mat, exhale. Standing L, lift your back leg. Left foot meets right, fold. Prayer hands rise all the way up. Hands to heart. Let's do it again, other side. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, fold to the earth, hinge at the hip. Halfway lift, breathe in. Take your vinyasa back to downward facing dog. From down dog, lift your left leg, breathe in. Bend the knee, scorpion, breathe out. Stay for an extra breath. See if you can level the shoulders out. Bringing the left shoulder down slightly. And then send your legs straight back. Step your foot through between your hands. Take a little shorter stance and come up for warrior one. Rise up. Arms reach, and then you'll cactus your arms again. Let's draw those elbows back, shoulders down. Harness into your shoulder girdle. Breathe in, pull the navel in, knit the rib cage down. Exhale, hinge to a hover. Rise back up. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, come all the way down, belly connects to the thighs, hands frame that foot, lift your back leg, standing splits. Pausing here, strong lifted leg. Wherever it is in space, just keep it nice and strong and active, plugging the femur bones here into the hip joint. Take one more breath. Low lunge, high lunge. Arms down, legs straightens, toes maybe lift, balance. High lunge, breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Reverse your warrior, breathe in. Extended side angle to the back of your mat, breathe out. Good, high pyramid, breathe in. This time, goddess pose. I'm gonna turn and face you again. Bend your knees, hands to heart for a second. Maybe little pulses. Hands to your thighs, lift the chest, breathe in. Right shoulder presses to the floor. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, left shoulder presses. Inhale to center. Hands to heart, exhale. Rise up, straighten your legs, turn the big toes slightly in. Prasarita, come on down. Halfway lift, inhale. And then quarter turn to the front of your mat. Standing L, lift your right leg. Right foot meets left and fold. Inhale, rise, reach those arms long. And hands to heart. All right, we're getting there. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Take your vinyasa. We will meet in downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and lift that right leg. And then bring that right knee right behind your right elbow. Hold there. Swivel your right foot towards your left wrist and slide the knee down until that shin and foot land for half pigeon pose. If half pigeon doesn't work for you, you can come onto your back and do figure 4 again, or you can go into that deer pose that we did in the beginning of class. So here, depending on how open your hips are or not, shin can be really parallel to the front of your mat, foot flexed if you need more. If your hips are pretty tight like me, my foot is closer to that left front hip there. And then take a quick peek back at your left leg. Just make sure the foot's not turned a funky way. Create some length in the spine and lift through the hips. Draw the navel in. So you're gonna hug your inner thighs in towards each other for a second. So they're working, the hips are working. Keep what you've created in your upper body and then allow the pelvis to slowly drop as you start to bring your chest forward. You might make a little kickstand with your thumbs to rest the third eye, space between the eyebrows. If you had a block, you could put the block under your forehead. Maybe the forehead can just rest on the mat. You take a few rounds of breath here. Using that breath as an anchor to bring our focus back to what is right now. Let go of all those what ifs. There's a lot of them right now. What is? Begin to lift the head, walk the hands back under the shoulders, lift the chest. Tuck your back toes, push the earth away. For a second here, lift that front leg up into your belly. Use your core and then send it back, split dog. Do what feels good in your body, maybe a scorpion and maybe just circling through the hip. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, breathe in. Bring your left knee behind your left elbow, hold. Swivel the left foot towards the right wrist and then lower down, creating your half pigeon pose on this side. Top of the back foot down on the mat, maybe take a quick peek at that leg, sure it's fairly straight-ish, and then come up onto the fingertips. Adjusting that front leg, which whatever you need here. If you need more, the shin is gonna become more parallel to the front. If you need less in your hips, the foot is coming closer to that right hip flexor. Sit up nice and tall, hug your inner thighs in together. Draw the navel in. And then start to let your pelvis soften and settle down towards the earth slowly, and then walk those hands forward if that works for you and your body. You might make that little kickstand again. One side might feel a lot different than the other. Totally normal. Again, just coming back to your breath. Elongate, slow it down. Be here right now in the present moment. That's all we have. Go ahead and lift the head, walk the hands under the shoulders, tuck the back toes, push the ground away as you lift that front leg up into your belly, and then send the leg straight back. Do what feels good in your body, scorpion or circle. Down dog, knees down, come to your seat. Come onto your back. Bridge pose, walk the heels in towards your butt, lift the hips. Walk the shoulder blades closer together under your back. 5 cycles of breath. Feel free to interlace the fingers, or maybe even take your index finger and your thumb and connect to your pelvis. Two more rounds of breath. Press the feet down. Hug the legs as if you're hugging them in towards each other, drawing the heels slightly back. Release bind, release shoulders, lower down. Arms out wide, hips to the right, knees fall to the left. Nice, easy supine twist. Softening the shoulders. Find some ease in the muscles across your forehead and the space between your eyebrows. Bring breath into the belly. And then let's come on back to center. Lift hips, scooch to the left, knees gently fall to the right. Option to turn the head off to the opposite direction of the legs. Might engage in just a tiny little hint of a smile. And soften the gaze behind your eyelids, they're closed. And come on back to center. So you're gonna make your way into Shavasana, get yourself comfortable. Class is ending, I think, in about 4 minutes, but I am here to hang out and chat after. If you want longer Shavasana though, you can just turn off my sound and video and stay for as long as you need. Once you find a place that you can be still, drop in. Let the earth beneath you completely support your body weight. If the mind is wandering to the past or the present, use your breath as an anchor to keep you present. Just let go of any effort here in the body, really any effort with your breath. Just let it flow naturally. If you're ready to move on with the rest of your day, and you can start to slowly make your way up to a seated upright position. Feel free to stay in Shavasana if you need to, and just mute your video. My hands are at my heart. Just in honor of this practice of yoga that's helping me get through this crazy time. I hope it's helping you stay connected to your practice, stay connected to your breath. Just try to be in the present moment, let go of all the what ifs, and just focus on what is. That's all we have. Thank you so much. I miss all of you. Mwah. Namaste. If you want to talk to me, turn on your cameras and mics, please. And if you don't want to talk to me, then fine. Anyone? Maybe they're doing their own little Shavasana. They want it longer. They want Shavasana. Oh, yes.
Hey.
Hi.
Thanks, Tracy. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you everyone. I'll do it again. I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, thanks for joining me, and like connect with me, or you guys can, you know, maybe give me suggestions of what you want for a class. I didn't even realize that it was only 45 minutes, so I had a little bit more planned, but that's okay. I think it was, I mean, I was doing the whole thing with you, so normally I'm just teaching and not really doing anything. I was sweating up here.
No, we definitely got to work out. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, Sarah, I'll talk to you probably this evening.
Okay, we'll talk to you this evening.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Myra. She has the mute thing on. All right. Keep up your Shavasana. Mwah. I'll see you April 2nd. Bye. I'm leaving. Bye.